I remember about 9 years ago when I had just gotten my start with my photography business, asking a pretty well-known photographer, how do I know when I should start charging? And his answer to me was, if you have to ask me, then you probably shouldn't be charging at all. While I definitely think his answer could have been a little bit nicer, I do now see his point. So much of what you charge has to do with your confidence and knowing your value and your skills. So you might be asking yourself, am I charging too much? Or you might be thinking, I'm definitely not charging enough. I used to spend a lot of my valuable time thinking that I wasn't charging enough, and back then I definitely wasn't, and I was working like a dog. The thing is, the more confident you get in your services and your abilities, the easier it is to know and charge what you're worth. Hi, I'm Erin, and on this channel, I help you get the confidence to be bold in your business and your life. It's so easy when you're first starting out to just slap a price on your products or services based on what other people around you are doing. But no one knows your worth and value better than you. And it's actually not a guessing game. Figuring out your pricing can be quite easy if you know the right steps to take. Today I'm going to share with you 3 steps to help you nail your pricing quickly and accurately so you're 100% confident in your numbers. Step number 1 is to know your numbers. You absolutely cannot guess. You have to physically sit down and figure out all of the costs associated with your products and services, including your opportunity cost. If you're not familiar with opportunity costs, it basically means that your time is worth a certain amount of money. Every time you go to work, you're taking time away from other opportunities in your life, like being with your friends and family. So not only do you need to know the cost of things like your goods, your taxes, your fees that you might have, but you also need to know what an hour of your time is worth. How do you do this? First, you need to figure out exactly how much profit you would like to take home each year from your business. Once you have that number, you need to divide it by 52 weeks because there are 52 weeks in a year. That gives you what you need to make each week in order to reach your yearly goal. Now divide that number by how many hours you want to work per week. For example, I right now don't want to work any more than 20 hours a week. I also know that I'd like to eventually work towards bringing home $200K per year in profit. So I need to take that $200K, divide it by 52 weeks. That comes out to about $3,846 that I need to make per week. Now, if I divide that number by the 20 hours I want to work per week, I get roughly $192. That is my value per hour when I'm figuring out my opportunity cost. Now, your numbers may be way different than mine. In fact, my old numbers are nothing compared to today's numbers. But the fact is, the equation is the same no matter what your numbers are. Now, when you sit down to figure out your costs, your opportunity costs, your taxes, fees, etc., you will come away with an actual number that will make it a lot easier to know exactly what your products and services are worth. Step number 2 is to work your way up. Let's say your numbers are really big like mine. Way to go for dreaming big. But you're just starting out and maybe you're just not comfortable charging those prices just yet. The most important thing is that you're always at the very least covering your costs of goods and services. Once you know you're doing that, you can take some of what your hourly opportunity cost worth is and add that on so that you're making a profit. Once you do that, you can start to work your way towards that full opportunity cost hourly number that you worked out. I once read that for every 5 jobs you book at your current pricing, you can go ahead and raise your pricing. Now, at this point, I only raise my pricing about once a year, but in the beginning, that is exactly how I did it. For every 5 jobs I booked at my current pricing, I upped my pricing a little bit more. Step number 3 is to practice saying your pricing out loud. This is probably going to be really difficult for you at first because most of us have a really hard time talking about money. But the beauty is, like most things, the more you talk about it and the more you practice it, the easier it gets. I highly recommend you do some mindset work around money and what it means to you. I literally went from shaking like a leaf and wanting to throw up before each of my portrait sales sessions to now where I look forward to it, have a blast, and I'm fully confident in charging my prices. If you think of it this way, charging someone for your service or your product is simply an exchange of value. Value of their money for the value of your product or service provided. If you feel really good about the product and service you're providing, This way of looking at it makes it a lot easier. You can also practice saying your pricing out loud. I used to do this all the time before my sales sessions. Say it over and over until it becomes second nature, because whatever vibe you're putting out while you're saying it can be felt by your clients and customers. Remember, your time is money, and your skills and products are being purchased because someone else sees the value in what you do. So go out there and charge your worth. Now, I highly recommend you hop over to my blog and check out the post I did on how your money mindset affects your income. You can also download my money mindset freebie in that post. Then make sure you subscribe to this channel because I have even more videos to help you be confident in your business and your life.